A Time for Change. A God of War story. The battle was over. Odin was dead, and Freya would lead the 9 realms through an era of rebuilding. She had asked for Kratos' help, and he had accepted. He would be the God of War once again. But now, in his advanced age, he realized the truth. The God of War, above all, was responsible for maintaining peace. Kratos had had enough of fighting. He had done his fatherly duty in protecting Atreus, and the boy had chosen to go off on his own to search for the giants that still remained hidden. He would unite his people, as his mother had done before him. Kratos shifted his focus to his new duty, securing non-violent relations between all the peoples of the 9 realms. Races who, in some cases, had been enemies for decades, even centuries, were now being asked to put down their weapons. Most would not resist the call. They, like Kratos, were tired of conflict. The god who for so long had kept them at each other's throats, for his own selfish purposes, was no more. It was up to them now to choose to be better. Kratos missed Atreus. The boy was clever and witty and insightful. Their conversations had been a great comfort to each other during the long Fimbulwinter. But Kratos did not feel lonely. He still had Mimir, and the two of them were bonded together for life, as brothers. Besides, Kratos' presence was regularly required at meetings of the Valkyries, and in various locations throughout the realms. The Light and Dark Elves, having spent so long killing each other, needed a moderator to facilitate their treaties. The Dwarves, suspicious of all gods, refused to tolerate their meddling any longer, and Freya was only too happy to give them back their sovereignty. The surviving Aesir had taken up residence in Vanaheim, and would, under Freya's watchful eye, rule it wisely. They had seen enough examples of corrosive leadership under Odin to know what not to do. Midgard, unfortunately, would never be peaceful. Humans were too greedy, too dishonest, to ever remain settled for long. Kratos would do his best to limit the destruction they wrought upon each other. Beyond that, Kratos' life was more tranquil than it had ever been. The Droiga had been almost wholly eradicated, with Ragnarok and the fall of Asgard. With the ending of Fimbulwinter, the realms returned to equilibrium, and the foul creatures who had multiplied in the chaos once again returned to the shadows. The realm of the dead, Helheim, was safely under the control of Hreisvelgur, who could be relied upon to do her duty. Mimir promising to aid in her retirement was a problem for another day. Kratos predominantly spent his free time as he always had, training his mind and body, maintaining his weapons, and completing the daily chores required by one who lived in the wild. He and Mimir occasionally spoke long into the night, sharing stories of their past, and wondering aloud where Atreus was in that moment. Food was plentiful in his forest home, as was firewood. He did not want for anything. Even as a god of war, Kratos felt, for the first time in a long time, calm.